known Hanan for a while now, and she's one of the most beautiful souls you can ever come across. She is an amazing healthpreneur, an amazing author. I really encourage you all to buy her book, Second Chances, just to get an idea about what beautiful journey she takes you through.
She always has something new researches, new surveys, new information. She's like a filled up book that keeps on typing and typing and just give it to people.
And today it's like mind shifting. How it's like a very small change in the way we're thinking about the healthcare system can change our life and the people's life and the life of the people you love.
This is probably the fourth workshop that I've been to for Dr. Hanan, and every time I come, I learn something absolutely amazing. I can't express how much experience and knowledge that she brings to the field, things that always made sense to me before, but I never could quite put it into words or never could quite had the scientific proof behind it, but she does.
I'm extremely happy to have had the opportunity to come and listen to Dr. Hanan lecture tonight on her Healology University. I've learned a lot. It was extremely educating and engaging for the audience. The way she talks about natural approach to heal a lot of medical, physical, mental condition is extremely inspiring.
And she has this art of combining the science of tangible with the science of untangible, which is the science of nutrition, lab test, and the energy, right? And this is the new kind of pharmacy that we are both promoting today.
She has a huge knowledge, and she also has the ability of transporting a complex topic in a way that everybody can understand. Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to get started right away. Take your seat. So I've actually love this new platform that is, I feel it will be more engaging, just like a virtual or a live conference, if you will. So please roam around, connect with others that are on here today. You could turn on your cameras or, ask any questions, but we're going to leave the questions actually at the end of the webinar. Now, another thing about this platform, it's amazing. So if you guys are on a mobile phone, it'll automatically go into presentation mode. But if you're actually using a laptop or kind of a computer system, you could actually, there's a button on here somewhere where it says go into presentation mode. So great. So I'm going to now, actually I'm using this for the first time. So bear with me as I get the presentation going today. All right. So yes, here we go. So today I want to talk to you guys about a very interesting journey, if you will, and a system that I've actually found and fell into by accident. And it's quite an interesting system and a way to perceive and address life and of course your health and well-being as a matter of, as a place to start. Because we all know without your health and wellness, everything else is secondary and won't be able to function to your optimal, right? So today I'm going to be talking to you how this revolutionary, simple, actual solution for your health and well-being can predictably generate a steady stream of premium results and referrals like clockwork. And it's quite interesting because it's very, very simple and practical in all ways. And we're going to go into diving and giving you the information and the tools today. And actually, we have a very special gift for you where you're going to go ahead and get your own self-check report. And then we'll take it from there and give you even more surprises as we go along on the presentation today. So even if you're actually completely new and a newbie to this wellness and health industry. So like I said, stay till the end. Really, really amazing, interesting surprises for you, okay? So anyone who's on the call today, there's no mistake whatsoever that you showed up here today for a reason, right? Is it something that you want to pursue, make an impact in other people's lives, understand what you could help with friends and family? Is there some mission and a vision that you feel that you could actually take on as well to make an impact in the world, right? Or is there some pain? Is there some problem that you want to address and finding a solution for, perhaps a chronic condition, a health issue, maybe just trying to lose weight because, 2022 is right around the corner, right? Or is it perseverance? Are you looking for focus? Are you looking for energy? Are you looking for something to give you that extra oomph to wake up in the morning, jump out of the bed, and be able to go on your day? Whatever it is, I want to thank you, and I actually give you a pat on the back and recognition for stepping up and showing up for yourself today, because you're trying to make an improvement and show up for yourself to be able to impact not only your own life, but the life of others. So let me tell you who I am and why you should even listen to me or be on this webinar. My name is Dr. Hanan Salim. I have a PhD in clinical pharmacy. I've been in the health and wellness industry for about 25 years now. I've built all kinds of wellness businesses, and I actually speak on the stage about 4 to 5 times a year. I'm actually recognized as a thought leader in health and well-being, and I'm an award-winning author and also an international speaker. And all that fame is amazing, and you're probably thinking, well, how is that going to help me, right? But I want to actually share with you my story of actually how before all this fame, what actually brought me to creating and understanding this amazing system that we're going to be talking about with you today. So I was actually working in the most prestigious hospital in Manhattan as a go-to healthcare professional for hard to diagnose conditions. And it was actually this time that actually drastically changed my life. So we would be actually the people who would be formulating the protocols and everything for patients. So I would actually see patients coming in doing so well on the interventions and the cutting edge research and solutions we were giving them, but they would come back, down the line with, diabetes patients needing amputation or losing a toe, or and I would look on their face and the agony to actually come and tell them this news. I would see cancer patients who would be doing so well, and then give them the news, you're going to have 6 months to a year to live. And then of course we would be working with obese patients, and they would be starting to do great and lose the weight, but then a few months down the line they would come back with gaining all the weight back, and of course having all the complications that go along with that. But actually what really changed my life was actually I was in lying in bed in the hospital waiting to go in for a invasive surgery, and I was actually looking at the doctors and the nurses who are looking at me, giving me the information where I used to be on the other side. and giving my patients the same information, and advising them, it's going to be okay, and don't worry, it's going to go well, the surgery and all. And then it hit me, like, why if I've done everything to the power, to within my power to do good in my life and be able to live a healthy life, why is it that I'm laying here in bed with endometriosis, precancerous cells in my ovaries? I was actually 30 kgs heavier than I am today. And this, just seeing my life flash before my eyes, and I decided that day that I was not going to go through this hysterectomy surgery, and I went on a journey to understand what is it that we behind the scenes that is not actually showing up on laboratory results or diagnostic tools, MRIs, X-rays. And what I realized is that conventional medicine wasn't the solution for unconventional problems. So we need to find the root cause. We have to go and deep dive, not just addressing the symptoms, but to understand what is happening. And as Tony Robbins says, it's the circle of influence. So there are certain things in where we have in our environment that's going to affect us that we don't even know is happening, things that you feel they're out of control or out of your influence. But then we bring that into the focus where the root cause is happening. Then you are making a change and influence on those blind spots, if you will, that we never knew existed in our environment. And then guess what happens? You start having control of that which you thought weren't even aware was happening in your environment. And just like the photo shows, is that these doctors, they're doing their best. They're trying to wipe up the disease or the condition or the side effects, or giving you the protocols, when in fact, if we just go to the faucet that we see here behind these doctors and just turn off the root cause, that would actually be more of a holistic, natural approach rather than just giving these invasive measures. And then I became an addict to this new world that I was delving into, which was what I now call transformational learning. And I did all the amazing alternative education, mindfulness, energy healing, hypnotherapy, along with my PharmD doctorate degree in pharmacy. And then what I realized is that we needed to actually take things into our own hand. I also realized that we need to see in a completely new way. We need to look at these things in a more customized approach, not a one-size-fits-all protocols or advice that we usually would be using in conventional medicine. And I realized that if I wanted to really live my purpose, which is to help others, and I was very passionate about transforming people's health and well-being, and ultimately really transforming their lives, I would need actually to work in a completely different way. So a long story short, was with the help of some cutting edge research, of working with amazing research that I stand on the shoulders of, like Dr. Bruce Lipton, allowed me to discover this whole new way. And what I realized is that we needed to include the psychology. I looked into epigenetics, I looked into neuroscience, and lastly, I looked and researched into what we call lifestyle or functional medicine. And what I realized is that the root cause of all health and wellness challenges in advanced societies doesn't just rely on getting rid of the stress and anxiety and depression, because what the research has shown is only 15% of the solution in addressing the root cause. Of course, 10% turns out to be just the eating, the diet, the nutrition. And of course, 10% was also another tool we use to sleep well, get our 8 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep. And of course, the last is 9% a solution was the exercise and activity. What actually turned out to be the major part of what we call in fancier terminology in science is something called chronic bile disruption, meaning that there's there's things in your circle of influence that's influencing your health and well-being silently. And what we've been doing all along to address these health and wellness issues was addressing the brain or the psychology alone and the physical aspect alone. So if that's what we do, this is exactly what we should be looking like, right? Walking around with the brain wrapped around us, right? And of course, obviously, that's not true. That's not realistic, right? So we needed to actually combine the best of both worlds, meaning these psychology tools, NLP, hypnotherapy, and alternative methods to get the mind on our side, right? And we also need the conventional science and evidence-based tools, because at the end of the day, we are working and dealing with people's health and well-being, and we have to have the measuring tools that we would use to make sure that the system is working, that everything is black and white, that gives both the practitioner the assurance as well as the patient moving forward in the system. And what I realized was, oh my God, after using this, and all my friends and family were my guinea pigs, right? So I started getting a lot of amazing feedbacks and breakthroughs for the people I was working with at the time. And the myth is that your expertise as a wellness professional are about having many degrees, qualifications to prove your credentials. But the truth of the matter is that wellness is a customized step-by-step process that anyone can do, because we have the innate resources already, meaning we already have the program instilled in us that we're all born with. We just need to get out of its way, remove the blocks, and fill in the gaps to be able to have this program work at its optimal. And I love this word flow. So I'm sure everybody has experienced this concept called flow, meaning that, you know, surfers are very familiar with the word flow. They say that, you know, riding that wave, even though it could be like 5 seconds, 10 seconds max, right? But it feels like an eternity, right? Because time and place just disappear, and they are absorbed and one with the activity that they're doing. And that's exactly what we're trying to create in this innate resource, or the program that we're all born with, meaning that we're trying to have a holistic approach to what we call the wheel of wellness. And this is an important part where we need to discuss and differentiate what it is, what we say health and well-being. So a lot of people think that wellness is inclusive of health, meaning that health and wellness are the same. When that, in reality, health is a part of wellness, not exclusive of wellness. And wellness actually includes many things: your physical, your mental, your emotional, even affects your financial relationships, your social aspect, creativity, business, career. So it's actually a complete pie, if you will. If we imagine like a pizza pie, right? There are so many slices to this pie that make up our complete wheel of wellness. When actually right now there exists a way to get the best results immediately without putting in more hours or going on these fad diets or yo-yo diets. And when we right around the corner with the new year, we're all about, you know, losing those extra 10 kgs or that love handles that we all have around, the middle area, especially living in Dubai with all the amazing different nationalities and different foods that we could experience. So what we need to actually do, instead of putting ourselves through all that, starving ourselves, is we need to find the root cause using something called the root cause analysis, which is a customized self-healing scholar system. It's a scientific, evidence-based, using holistic guidelines and what we call growth hacks. Because once we influence that pizza pie, if you will, once we fix that one piece part of the pie, everything kind of aligns in itself, right? We don't have to waste a lot of time and energy and effort trying to fix everything at once. When we get overwhelmed, we get stuck, and then of course we never move forward or achieve what we want to achieve, whether it's we're talking about our health or well-being. And this is why it's actually very important that we just focus on that one thing and one thing only that we call the root cause. And we find that through what we use as a tool called the root cause analysis. And you're going to be in a couple of slides for a really good surprise, because I'm actually going to give this to you to actually self-check yourself where you stand in your health and wellness journey. So this is going to be amazing without sacrificing more energy, like I said, more time, more effort, more starving, more of a routine, going on a diet, going on, different habits that we're really going to be struggling to implement, right? So without taking a lot of these products that are always being advertised that may cause what we call unnecessary risks or side effects, and of course without working harder, only to yield, of course, the same results. And as Einstein says, right, insanity, we're all insane, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different results. And of course, it's always either yo-yo results. So whether you're a professional or an expert in health and well-being, or you're a total newbie to this 4.2 trillion. Yes, that's correct. You saw that right. It is a $4.2 trillion industry, because everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to stop the smoking, eating well, sleeping well, and of course, having the amazing lifestyle to live longer and of course avoid aging like we all are trying, because you'll see the statistics in a minute. It's absolutely mind-boggling with the research that how long we're going to be living on this planet. So might as well make sure that we're living healthy, not dependent on any medication or of course our loved ones, right? So you can improve your results with actually an existing condition, or even prevent one from happening, what we call health havocs that gets you on the roadway to developing these staggering numbers in diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. And forget COVID, right? These numbers are skyrocketing without even the new viruses that are coming into our environment and these epidemics that's happening, right? And of course, you don't want to waste any time or money or having more stress in the process in doing it. So what I want to talk to you about is something called Healology wellness, Healology, which is actually the art and science of self-healing, where you're actually going to take the tools, the ideas, and the system, if you will, to actually start using it into your own life, taking back control and be able to take over your health and well-being. And of course, health experts are getting, limited training, qualification in what we call holistic health. They're all about the protocols. They're all about the advice that's listed in the medical books, and about guiding patients. Of course, some are misguided with information, of course, because we have our amazing sales rep from the companies and persuade them in a certain way, saying these are less side effects, and this is better for the patient and all that. And they actually, the doctors are really going to trust and take these professionals' word for it. And of course, they go ahead and prescribe it to their patients, thinking they're doing the right thing for them. And of course, the money wastage that's used on these one-size-fits-all disciplines that won't help, but actually masking only the pain, just putting a Band-Aid over it, or or throwing it under the rug and just praying that it just doesn't come out again, and the patient doesn't have a recurrence of the cancer, the diabetes, and everything else that we're trying to address during these unconventional times, right? So the truth is, wellness practitioners actually is a customized process and addressing the individual needs and root cause analysis, what we call your blind spots. And it's kind of boils down like this. So if you could imagine like an iceberg, okay? So the iceberg, what is seen, the symptoms, the headaches, the backache, the migraines, the conditions that you're trying to address, the weight loss or the obesity, right? This is what is seen in the surface. But what we need to understand is to go behind the scenes, go underneath this, what is seen on this iceberg. And we have to understand, what is the root cause? Is it the emotion? Is there habits that need to be addressed? Are there certain stories or fears? Is it a self-limiting beliefs that they're having? Is there an experience or a trauma that actually was embedded in your unconscious mind? That's why you're not able to move forward. You're not able, and might even have triggered the condition in the first place. We'll get into all that. Is it a confidence issue? Is it a self-esteem issue? Is it, your pride? Is there an unmet expectation that you are trying to achieve, but you're just not getting there because of this underneath a blind spot that's silently keeping you back, keeping you blocked from achieving your goals? So most people are not going to win, unfortunately, at this wheel of wellness, because you need to filter out the root cause. You need to deep dive, understand what is going on behind the scenes, and forever you'll be exhausting yourself, your clients' efforts, without any breakthrough results. Because like Einstein said, insanity, right, is trying to do the same thing over and over again, trying to get a new result. So the brain is, we're going to be talking and understanding this in the system we're talking about, because the brain has one function and one function only, and that is to keep you alive. So it's only going to fight what is it it thinks it's harming it, or it's going to run away from it, flight, or get stuck or freeze, or just don't know what to do. And that's actually what happens most of the time when we have this blind spots or silent triggers that's happening in our environment, and we just don't know why we're reacting this way, why we're doing what we're doing. I mean, we all know we need to eat well. We don't have to eat the junk food if we want to lose weight. We know we need to exercise. We all know we need to get enough sleep to have focus in the morning, but yet we don't achieve these outcomes, and it's very difficult for a lot of people. And that's why it's been a $4.2 trillion industry, because everybody's kind of coming up with all these different solutions that's not working, and hence this industry is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because then if the brain is not going to change, it's not willing, because your brain is accustomed and doesn't want to change and likes the database it already has, right? So it's always going to refer to this database and give the marching orders to do certain things in a certain way, to what we call a fixed mindset, right? But what we can do, actually, the solution is taking the brain to a step-by-step process that's going to give the healing chemicals, or the release of the happy chemicals, if you will, that's going to allow the program we've been talking about, which is our innate resources, to function and get the right marching orders in the right direction to achieve the goals that we're trying to achieve, right? So we have to speak to our brain and just bring it on our side, convince it, and bring it to understand that these are the exact steps that we need to take to achieve those goals. And this is why it's important to go first where we need to release the blocks, the limiting beliefs, all that stuff that's below the iceberg, and create a new routine and realization. And this is exactly the 6-step process that we need to take the mind, what we call the mind, the brain, and the organ connection, because there is this program that's called the mind brain organ, that if we allow and understand to remove all these blocks or gaps and fill in the gaps that we need through this step-by-step process, it will get there. It will allow the brain to make that necessary shift in chemicals and all the science evidence and epigenetics and all those tools we've been talking about, that research shows that this is a way to do it, to actually get the long life results in our health and well-being. So there's a huge opportunity for all the newbies to this industry, as well as the advanced professionals. You just got to do things the right way and in the right order to get the exact results that many of us, or many people around the world, are looking for as a solution in their health and well-being, who are actually stuck. So like they all say, what's get measured gets managed, right? So here you go. This is the barcode that you guys need to, just click on, take the self-check progress report. And then, of course, we're going to understand, we'll give you exactly as a holistic bird's eye view, if you will, of what needs to be managed. What is the environmental or these silent blind spot triggers that are in your environment that's giving you these health havocs or well-being or blocks or self-limiting beliefs that's keeping you to achieving your goal. So there's a huge opportunity in this industry, because the wellness industry, like I've been saying, it's by the way, this is actually the $4.2 trillion industry, is actually a 2017 statistics. This is actually pre-COVID. So I could imagine what is happening with this number right now. And of course, there's an estimated of 1 to 1.2 billion people that will be living 60 plus by 2030. And the average amount of spent on a wellness program or package or system is actually $3,000. And the advanced strategy in wellness is all about biohacking. No one has the time anymore to go on a strict diet, or do so many hours in the gym, or following doctor's orders of this medicine or doing this surgery, because we don't have any time for any downtime, unfortunately. And of course, big companies want their employees and even management be on key, on focus, because of the economy and the stress that everybody's going through, and they're looking for a practical wellness program. So there is definitely a need in the market right now for wellness practitioners. So Suresh Khan here is amazing student of mine. She actually says she transformed her entire coaching business dramatically. A lovely lady, Anna Burns, also not only improved her own health and well-being, but paid it forward to her friends and family, and being able to help everyone in her circle of influence, if you will, to have the optimal health and well-being. And Simon is an amazing financial advisor, and he says that Hilalogy system helped him with his severe eczema that he's been suffering with for a long time. And of course, it changed his entire perspective on healthcare. So don't spend any time doing the following: investing in, self-development programs, NLP, mindset, mindfulness, hypnotherapy, because actually this is only half the equation that solves the solution of the root cause that's causing a lot of the health and wellness havocs. There's the using the status quo, like the fad formulas, the polio diet, or intermittent fasting diet, whatever is on there, because they're not sustainable. And at one point, you're going to get off these diet, and of course, you're going to go back to your routine, and everything just gets back where we started, if not worse than we were started. And of course, unfortunately, a lot of these things on Google and a lot of these fad formulas or diets or these are very unqualified science, and they have no research backing behind it. And you don't need any actual medical or healthcare training to get results for you yourself or your clients if you want to be taking this on as becoming a practitioner, right? There's actually too much time and money is spent on these quick fixes without getting to the simple root cause that's creating everything in the first place. And just the step-by-step, like we mentioned, with this mind-brain organ connection, aligning it and removing the blocks in between them. So we don't want to spend a lot of years learning through. A lot of people are reading books, especially, when you're newly diagnosed with a condition. What do? You go on there, you get all the books to read, you go on Google, you get all these, and you go crazy, and you're like, oh my God, this is going to happen to me. The severity, death being one of the side effects, and just really, really, causing more stress and harm than actual benefit. And, doing all these, watching video tutorials, and of course, all this won't work to crack the code for a lot of these chronic conditions, and of course, obesity and diabetes and cardiovascular disease, which is leading the world right now. So what is this training for? It's actually to give you the information to stand above the noise, like we mentioned with Google, with all this, we're all being overwhelmed and bombarded with so much information online, offline, friends and family that adds to the pot, right? And you've been constantly increasing your working hours, and of course, related stress that goes along with the mompreneurs who are looking and really, really striving for what we call the work-life balance, and to work from home and have the family environment that they've always dreamed of. And of course, there's always the people who are looking for another job because they're either looking for a higher income, or they're just not satisfied where they are. They're not getting the recognition. They're not getting the passion or fulfillment that they're looking for. And of course, the corona variant is still restricting a lot of people around the world meeting each other live. So of course, and then corporate professionals who want to leave the rat race and contribute to others. So these are actually the people who really find this intriguing and interesting and want to actually join the clan, if you will. So, but again, we also want to mention who the training is not for. So if you're not interested in having a quality life, or looking to make, just a quick buck, just to cover expenses, right? Because you have to make it work in a short amount of time. We've all been there, done that. We understand completely, but this is really, really for the long haul of having this optimal life, amazing life, and living to your full potential, right? But if you're looking again for another quick fix to add to your toolbox, because I've seen people come into these programs are amazing, but then they're just looking for another certification, credential, just to add to their toolbox to say, hey, I have X, Y, and Z, come with me. But that's not what people are looking for. They're looking for, how can you help me? How can you help my situation, my problem, my pain? How can I persevere with all this pressure and stress that's happening in our lives right now, right? So that's going to give you an effective result in a lifelong in the long run, right? So if you're not committed to accelerating your career, your business, and your life really overall, then this is, of course, not going to be your quick fix situation. So we don't advise or want actually to have people like that working with us. And if you're waiting for things to get back to normal, right? That's what we've been hearing. When is it going to go back to normal? Get just, the way things were, all happy and just, working the 9 to 5, getting our, barely our money in at the end of the month just to pay off our bills and start all over again the next month, right? So you want to continue. That hasn't worked in the past, as I said, which is absolutely insane. This is the new normal we're living in right now. So the formula that all my clients use means it doesn't occur running expensive tools, facilities, and mom and pop shops, if you will, with the expensive overheads that we have. It has to, and it saves all the time associated to other forms of course, conventional methods and the side effects that goes along with it. And it shortens the recovery cycle from months and years into even a matter of weeks. And we've seen what we call miracles with working with a lot of clients around the world. And of course, it stops the feast and famine of being fit and free, the freedom in time and in money, in, spending with your family and your loved ones before, the days just go by. So I have 3 kids, and my kids are not kids anymore, but of course, every mother calls her children kids, right? So these, my children are actually 24-year-old. I have a 21-year-old and a 20-year-old, right? And I just sit back sometimes and I wonder, how did we get here? How did this, time fly? Where was I, right? It just goes by so fast. And I wish, I had the time and the, the convenience to spend it with my children and have that quality memories with them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did, but, working as a healthcare professional, working these weird hours, I just wish, I had that quality time, then, spending it with, my kids spending it with their nanny and all, right? So it means you can leverage your wellness into new heights and lifestyle balance on your own terms, meaning having that quality, having that lifestyle, and of course, having your health and well-being working as well in flow, in harmony, what we've been talking about. And most importantly, you can actually love what you do and be loved for it, because it's out there. People are looking and searching, and we're looking at 1.2 billion people by 2030 who actually need this tools and ideas and systems to get their health and well-being right on track. So what we're going to cover today is how to capitalize on this amazing opportunity and dominate this $4.2 trillion wellness industry. How to use advanced, effective system that leads with results that demonstrates the root cause, which is silently, like the blind spots we talked about, creating havoc in your health and well-being, meaning that it's not only affecting your health, but everything else in that pizza pie we've been talking about, every slice of it, whether we're talking your financials, or you're talking your relationship, or your career and business, and so forth. And how secret number 3 is how just one simple strategy can actually give you the winning competitive advantage to cleaning up your competitors' profits without leaving your home. And how secret number 4, how to go from survival mode, which we know with the pandemic, then epidemic, where we've been going through for such a long time now, to actually thrive by having a steady stream of premium income and winning every client you want and will ever need. So amazing. Thank you so much for still being here. That's awesome. So what I want you guys to start thinking about is, where are you at right now? What stage in your life are you at? Are you experiencing life to its full potential? Are you waking up, jumping out of bed in the morning and just, going ahead and really excited about the day ahead? Are you just, leaving it to chance or luck or whatever it may be? Why are you stuck if you're stuck, right? Which area in that pizza pie, in that wheel of wellness, if you will, that is actually keeping you up at night, keeping you not getting that restful sleep, always wondering how you're going to solve this situation or this problem or this pain, right? We talked about what are you trying to achieve, right? What are you passionate about? What is the purpose of $1 million question? Why are we here? Right? And coming through a really recent experience where unfortunately my mom passed away, what I realized after her death was how people were, expressing their gratitude of her, paying it forward, always caring for others, and how this person she helped and that person she helped, and how she made such a huge impact in that person's marriage, or made a huge donation to this people for the kids to go to school, or whatever it may be. And I realized that our ego gets in our way sometimes, and that we feel that life is always about us, about what we achieve, how we're going to achieve it, how we're going to keep our security. But what I realized through this time was that yeah, it's important to make it sustainable. Yeah, it's always important, of course, to survive and thrive, right? But it's also important to make an impact, to leave a legacy, to feel fulfilled, to actually be able to not only change your own life, but to change those of other people's lives. And I've seen many times over, especially as a healthcare professional, that it makes us so happy to see the transformation from being ill to healthy, from being, sad or depressed to excited and happy, from, just seeing the transformation in people, and the smile, and the way they can leverage it, and the family gets affected as well. Their business gets, back on track. Their income is skyrockets, and just that ripple effect makes, us excited as practitioners to see how much of an impact while we're on earth that we can make, that we could be remembered. And if I could mention another story where I read a book about a technician who worked in an ambulance. And of course, working in the ambulance, you see a lot of people, of course, passing away. And he always said there was 3 things that right before the people move on and they pass away, is that they always ask these 3 important questions. And they say, did my life make a difference? Did I impact or make a difference in while I was living, right? Will I be remembered when they leave and move on? So that really, brings things into focus, right? What does it really count when you're at that last day, right? When you're taking your last breath? That's really what, many people are thinking about. How did I make a difference? Will I be remembered? Did I make an impact? Did I leave a legacy for my family, for my kids, for my loved ones, right? So it's really important to actually have things into perspective of what matters most. And I want to go into our first secret here, and it is how to capitalize on this opportunity and dominate the 4.2 trillion wellness industry. And it's really, really simple. It's just you need to be aware and stop spending time and more money on these one size fits all. It's all a customized approach. It's a step-by-step system to just know how to get the brain, that mind-brain organ connection we've been talking about, to our side, to that other side of health and well-being, from going from unqualified and wellness gurus that is actually dominating this industry to actually make a difference in people's lives and really, really give them the lifelong results they've been searching for, spending this $4.2 trillion and looking for that solution, right? And we always want to make sure it's a customized care versus a symptoms solution. More and more people now aware and becoming educated clients and patients, if you will, because they're looking to understand answers, understand how is this, medicine, how is this surgery, how is this going to actually improve my life quality. Because when I was laying in bed ready to go into my surgery, which of course I signed myself out, and I realized that it's not going to improve my quality of life, right? If anything, I would actually not be here with you guys today if I went under the knife and had that chance to not make it. But it's all about the education and becoming aware of these solutions. And is it going to be temporary? Is it the band-aid we're putting on here and making believe that the wound or the scar that's underneath the band-aid is going to automatically disappear, right? We have to be active and proactive and creating this customized approach of how this problem, how the solution is going to fit to my particular problem. Not what diabetes is supposed to be taking, a patient with diabetes is supposed to be taking because the medical book says it's supposed to be taking this at milligram 3 times a day, right? You want to be able to, and people are now becoming aware and educated, asking these right questions of how exactly this is going to solve my problem. And of course, these beautiful couple, they are very much been in the rat race in the pharma industry, just like me and the healthcare professionals. And of course, going through their own personal journey as well with health. They say that investing your time and efforts in personalized, scientific, and evidence-based holistic solutions that truly works. And of course, halology, of course, they're very big advocates of halology, and they say it actually truly works. And secret number 2 is how do you then use these advanced effective system that leads with results, that demonstrates that the root cause behind your challenges can actually turn into opportunities, right? And here it is again. So make sure that you take on this barcode to do your self-check, understanding report, to understand that the key to exponential health and a vibrant epidemic resilient body, right? It is the awareness of these silent blind spots, these environmental challenges that in a fancier word we call chronic biodisruptors. And there's actually a score that you guys are going to get to know exactly where you stand in this health and self-healing journey. And of course, what we've been talking about, which is the mind-brain-organ connection, will give you the exact analysis and where the gaps are that you need to start looking at, we need to fill, and of course, any blocks in the process, right? And these could be like we saw with the iceberg, right? It could be an emotional driver, it could be certain interferences or triggers in your environment, it could be certain challenges like stress or work or whatever it may be. And of course, usually it's a combination of many, many things, but it boils down to the one thing that's triggering you in your environment that we could actually start approaching it. Is it metabolism? Is it, if you're trying to lose weight, is your metabolism up to par, right? Are you doing certain things that we go through in the self-check report that will show you exactly what it is? And of course, we have to approach it from the autonomic nervous system functions, right? Because we talked about the brain. There's marching orders that the brain is always releasing these chemicals that's going to always affect the body unless we bring it on our side and convince it to do not A, but go and do B. And of course, the process from going from A to B takes about certain 6 steps that we've been talking about, which is the 6 R's and routine. And of course, you have to have, understand if there are microbial imbalance, is there issues with the protein or like, again, goes back to the metabolism. So all these different variants, you don't have to, oh my God, I don't know, is it an emotional thing? Is it, is it a challenge? Is it a metabolism issue? You don't need to worry about any of that, because at the end of it, you'll just get a number, a score, and that gives you exactly the details you need to know and what it is the gap is about, what the analysis shows, and that what you can do about it. And of course, this is not just me saying it and the research that I've been doing it, but it's actually a customized approach that you'll have a winning advantage over your competitors, resulting in premium wellness and wealth. Because rest assured, of course, we have the certifications, the qualifications, that this is a proper program that we put together that's actually approved by the American Institute of Business Psychology. There's a certificate with it. Of course, if you go on to be a practitioner in the system, then you actually get your practitioner certificate with that as well. And of course, it's recognized and approved by the Global Trainers Federation and the MAPTAC, sorry. Okay, so Hannah Cohen, she's an amazing young lady. She said that Dr. Hanan, she says, thank you for your amazing halology system. She actually went on to become a practitioner and made a lot of progress, as we see in her numbers, with only 2 years. And Hanifa also, she says, halology is such a powerful solution to health and well-being that not only gives health, but happiness to live your full potential, which is absolutely priceless. And of course, Minna Shaheen, she says, Dr. Hanan's halology is truly revolutionary and would recommend it, and already has been. She's a very big advocate of our system for a personal and corporate wellness. And of course, Jessica, amazing, amazing, beautiful young lady. She loved the halology journey and was an eye-opener to take control over your health and well-being without invasive measures. And of course, Shine is our amazing accountant, has nothing to do with healthcare or medicine. And of course, he truly experienced halology and understood everything from the ground up. And he actually says it's truly a cutting edge system that has completely shifted my perception on conventional methods and allowed him to become aware of his own well-being, cause and control, which is interesting. Now we go on to secret number 3, how just one simple strategy can give you the winning competitive advantage, getting control over your freedom in health, time, and money without leaving your home. Now, the secret to that is, of course, you have to go through the system yourself. You have to experience the process, get the results for yourself, of course. And that is what we do in Self-Healing Scholars, right? It's all about the root cause analysis, preventing silent disease creators, and of course, blasting the root cause in the story, going deep diving below the iceberg, and addressing each and everything through the 6 steps we've been talking about to get you into what we call the safe haven. So you avoid any condition or any disease, because like they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? So the best cure out there for a lot of these crazy conditions is that you don't get it in the first place. That's the cure, right? And of course, the second part to this is, of course, as a lifestyle freedom formula, we want to make sure that you are be able to use it in a practical manner. We give you the behind the scenes of why we're using step 1, why we're using step 2, what is the result with step 1, what problem does step 2 solve, and we go, of course, deep dive in all the different parts and moving parts and influences the whole system. And of course, at the end, you get the complete holistic recovery, if you will, that you will get in be able to have that a ripple effect in your health, not only in your health and well-being, but the complete pizza pie that's going to affect your finances, it's going to affect your relationships, it's going to affect your career, it's going to affect your business, it's going to affect the complete wheel of wellness that we've been talking about. And it's fun, right? We're going to have an amazing time, because I'm all, that's one of the things I hear from my students and my clients is that, gosh, Dr. Hanan, you bring you boil things down to its mere simplicity that anyone can understand without any of the, medical or the science jargon. Because at the end of the day, it's the point and the practicalness that you need to implement to actually get the person or yourself to the other side of what we call the safe haven or the health haven. So imagine you spend like time making an impact and an income on your own terms and loving what you do, jumping out of bed every morning knowing that someone's life is going to be transformed because of you, seeing your loved ones and family get so excited about life because you're creating a legacy for them, being your own boss, making your own hours, healthy, having that healthy income on your family's terms. Of course, with the flow and the grow formula, pumping profitable income for every single day. And you don't have to worry about, having to struggle at the end of the month, you running out of money, and then you have to start that cycle the next month again, right? And this is amazing Chrissy Marie Berleman. She came across the world from Switzerland to join my program, and she was absolutely blown away. She says that she made 21,500 pounds from her first presentation and made almost 82,000 within the first year. Secret number 4, how to go from survival mode to thrive by having a steady stream of premium impact and winning every client you want and will ever need. So the sooner you stop doing the things that don't work, like we've been saying, which is insane, and of course, start using an effective and reliable way to get a steady stream of premium wellness into wealth, the better. And you can start enjoying a healthy life and freedom on your terms and your family's terms without attending expensive courses, following fat formulas or diet, and of course, it's going to wishing and hoping that it will work. Like a lot of people, when they start the new diet for the new year, right? Perhaps paying someone to do a nutrition plan or create a diet or a system, for you that is actually not going to work in the long run. Or even attending expensive self-development classes, of course, isn't going to work as well. And you want, at the end of the day, to be at your full potential. You want premium wellness into wealth without complicated diets, routines that will give you the same yo-yo results that we all experienced in the past. So instead of you wanting premium wellness into wealth without lots of time spent with clients and they do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, then you must be having more, that they must actually have more skin in the game than you. So we'll give you all the templates, all the scripts, all the apps, like you're going to go through with the barcode we just gave you. That's just absolutely oversimplifies the whole process for you, including making sure that the client is more than committed and motivated to getting the results than you, which is of course a win-win situation when your client is more motivated and has the motivation and drive that clients are doing the hardest part while coming to you and paying you premium payment. They get the results in their health, their well-being, which is absolutely priceless. And of course, you get paid well for it, right? So like we said, the unconscious mind dictates your reality. So you want to dive into a new reality that'll open your eye to a whole new world of possibility. You'll get huge epiphanies that you couldn't believe these were actually in your environment, these blind spots that were always there silently affecting you and breaking down your health and well-being. And of course, we want to break down objections that you may have from the root cause. And you get these amazing, from day one, people just like with the GSS formula that we help them, they get right away to the root cause and they're like, a light bulb goes off and they're like aha moments and breakthroughs all the way through. And of course, you'll see why it's simple to get huge results you couldn't get before. And of course, we pull back the curtains to why you've been doing it all wrong all along. And of course, we break down your preconceived preconceived limiting beliefs, those blind spots and those blocks that we've been talking about. And of course, we demonstrate to your subconscious mind why this is the only way forward and get it on board to getting you to the results you're looking for. And you'll be absolutely at awe and believe it's possible for you. And Jessica actually experienced that. And she says, thank you, Dr. Hanan, for a truly revolutionary solution that has an amazing impact on your total potential in well-being. So here's what we covered so far: how to capitalize on the opportunity and dominate this 4.2 trillion wellness industry, how to use advanced effective system that we've been talking about, that step-by-step, that leads with results, that demonstrates to yourself and your clients that you understand their challenges and how to help them, and how to just one simple strategy we're talking about with the GSS formula, you can give the winning competitive advantage, cleaning up challenges into possibilities without even leaving your home, and how to go from survival mode, the pandemic we've been going through, to thrive by having a steady stream of premium income and winning every client you want and will ever need. So let me ask you a question. Has this webinar been worth your time on this training? Well spent. Have you, would you agree it's been time well spent so far? And can't cover, obviously we can't cover everything you need in this just a 1.5 hour or 1 hour webinar, even if we had all day, right? It's a step-by-step system that we need to go and deep dive of to why and how each part works and how it all fits in to get the results you're looking for and for your clients as well. So option one right now is, take what I've taught you here today and have a stab at it yourself and try and get it working for yourself. Or option two is what I will personally do and help coach and mentor you through the entire process. And what if I took an active role in your results and worked with you to help you achieve this for yourself? So I'm going to now, just bring it to a close. I'm sure you guys were bombarded with so much information because I really wanted to have it be a value-packed webinar, right? So I put this training together because, being there on both sides of the bed, being the healthcare professional and then being the patient, I actually went and struggled to get my health back on track. I lost 30 kgs in 6 months. I, reversed my endometriosis, which is unheard of without surgery and a hysterectomy. And of course, I became super healthy. So women my age are either on hormone pills, are on cholesterol pills, on, obese or something that they need to be struggling with. And I absolutely have no issues whatsoever with my health. And I feel it would be, a catastrophe and really, really, selfish of me to keep this system and keep this option that otherwise people would think, well, I need to only do the surgery, or I only need to do the take these medications like the doctor said for the rest of my life, right? There is a third option, and that is what we've been talking about, the best of both worlds. We're not saying to not follow your doctor's orders, but to also make sure we get to the root cause so that when you do recover, you don't go bouncing back and forth between this condition or this situation in your health and well-being. So here's what we're going to do for you. We want to give you to capitalize on this opportunity, and of course to use this scientific and evidence-based method, right? So three things actually what you need to do to be successful is get the detailed yet simplified training, get the personal support, coaching, and of course accountability, and the hand holding, of course, and the shortcuts and the resources to get you all the way through. So there's actually 5 core components, of course, which is the foundation, the self-healing scholars, just the understanding and the tools and implementing it for yourself to make sure you see the transformation, that it's tangible for you. And of course, we take you from being, from scratch to success, from zero to hero, and using the flow and grow coaching, and of course, we have this amazing, amazing community. So I want to ask you, would it be worth it if all this for you was to save you just 2 hours a day, to spend it with your loved ones once, instead of working to the bone, right? And having all that stress. If all this did for you was, you have to learn how to turn your health, your wellness, and your wealth into your own personal ATM machine, right? If all this did for you was to have you get the freedom in your health, your time, and of course, your finances. And of course, Dr. Heidi, amazing woman. She has been an adamant of my book. She highlighted everything in the book, and every time she reads my book, Second Chances, she finds a golden nugget in her own words that she can use. And of course, Noha, she's amazing, dear friend. And of course, she's all about the transformational experience that she went through with her passion and being able to pay it forward to all women. And she's all about, helping other women and women empowerment. And of course, Mustafa is an amazing, amazing friend, and of course, a client as well. And he says that about me, that Hanan is a very determined health professional. She will do what it takes to get you the results. If you're looking to get from poor health to peak performance, then Dr. Hanan will get you there. Thank you, Mustafa, for those words. So I'm not going to charge you anything, you guys. Don't worry. Just as like I mentioned, because you've been stuck with me on this webinar, I'm going to do absolutely something amazing and special, and we're going to have a free session together, you guys. Okay. So this is the barcode just to book a call with me, and we get on a call and we see. First of all, we go through all the self-check progress report for you, and we analyze and we deep dive what the root cause is, and of course, be able to have a breakthrough for you, obviously. And of course, you have my on attention, my full focus and attention the whole time. So please take down or take a photo actually of this barcode so you could schedule a call, right? So the value of this is actually $497 for this session to actually go through the self-check progress report and tackle what the root cause might be, right? But it's absolutely free for you guys for bearing with me all the way for this complete session. So I don't have usually a lot of spaces, so make sure you do take a photo of the QR code, because this might not be around for a long time. And of course, the spots of this amazing opportunity just goes by fast. So by the time you leave and maybe when you come back, this actually you won't have any spots left. So wellness halology is for you if you've tried of feeling like you're constantly spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere in your health and well-being. If you're tired of other training programs that haven't worked for you, if you're in a spot where you have to make this work because there's something detrimental, or you just got this diagnosis, or you have really a lot of stress happening in your life right now, and you're completely new to this $4.2 trillion industry, or you've been using other methods successfully and you're ready to learn the 10x trends, the shortcuts and the resources that go along with it. So already, I've seen people who have no healthcare background, you guys, right? They're teachers, they're accountants, they're into the services industry, corporate consultants, coaches, of course, and trainers, business owners, experts and professionals in different niches. Actually, what was interesting is people who are already in the MLM supplements marketers, they found this to be a really perfect fit as a service next to their product if there's already selling products out there. And of course, if you're looking to make a career change, want to leave the rat race, of course, this would be a great opportunity. And of course, the testimonials go on and on. So this is a huge, amazing community that we have in Wellness Halology, and it's made of just regular people like you and myself who are presented an opportunity opportunity to jump in head first and finally learn the truth about an impactful system, simple system, I should say, from real people getting real results day in and day out. You right now have that same exact opportunity to join us. So please go ahead and take a photo of the barcode, and we hopefully will see you on the other side. So thank you so much for joining us today. Let me just check the chat here to see.